Y'all probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flows chew you out, ain't fair, Jordan.
Yo, what up YouTube? It's your boy Nazar back at you. But anyways, let's just get into what I want to talk about, because I'm sure I'm gonna make a few people upset on this video that I'm about to put out, which I mean it goes with the territory, and for the most part the haters that tend to go on my channel anyway will nitpick on absolutely everything I get on anyway. So this is gonna be about this dude 6ix9ine. See, I made a video a long time ago about 6ix9ine, and it was received with mixed reactions. You had some fools felt like I shouldn't have spoke up on him, but at the end of the day, it is social media and we do cover what we cover, you know what I mean? To me, it's just views. And at the end of the day, that dude is trash, and I predicted that he would be trash. But like I said, you had the naysayers come on here and be like, oh, you know, his life was in danger and this and this and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like I say all the time, if you're not about that life, don't choose it. It's not promoting negativity. It's just, it's so many other things out there to be doing without getting wrapped up in this lifestyle. And to be honest, he really wouldn't have been nothing anyway if he didn't proclaim to be the gangster that he wasn't. But that goes to show you, in a lot of cases, there's a lot of people out there that continue to act like gangsters and they're not. Me as far as a person, you know what I mean, it's just one of those things that, you know, when you're born in it and you've been representing something for so long, it's kind of ingrained in you. Now, I can go into detail exactly the consequence of that. But I mean, we all live with our consequences. I've been able to absorb everything that's been thrown at me, because at the end of the day, when you choose to participate in certain activities, you will be faced with those certain consequences. I'm not going to get into other stuff because I do got another video coming about something a little bit more closer to home. But I just wanted to get back into it about this dude 6ix9ine. See, now 6ix9ine, dude, he has so many chances to back away from that rhetoric that he was putting out there in the ether. See, somebody told me not that long ago, I think it was like a few days ago, that even though I try to push in a positive manner, I still bring negative energy, mostly to the part because I'm still loyal to my hood. Not actually out there participating in any activities that my hood might be participating in, which is not saying they're participating in anything, but if it was like that, I'm not participating in nothing, because at the end of the day, it's like people do say, I am 40, about to be 41, and it's just over for dudes like me. People call me old heads, whatever, but this old head right here is still surviving. I did what I did, weathered the storm, and got out and came out on top. Now, as far as like 6ix9ine, he was warned so many times. He was given those chances. See, it's like some of these dudes on the internet, they're given chances to go another route and they choose not to take it. I myself as an individual has went a whole different route, but at the end of the day, there's certain things and certain rules we must adhere to. And I say adhere a lot because that's what you have to do. You will mind somebody regardless of who it is. And this dude 6ix9ine, when it came out in the wash, he found out that he had to mind somebody. See, nobody was really out there to help this dude, and that's what happens with a lot of youngsters now. And there's no real person out there to guide them. I had a situation not that long ago where I was talking to some youngsters that live around me, and they just wanted to know how prison was, and basically what they should and what they shouldn't do. For one, I told them just don't go to prison, period, because it's so watered down, and it's hard for vaulters in there right now, because I do speak to certain homies in there, and it's hard because they're up against shit constantly. It's like, it's not knowing when you're gonna get yard because shit can pop, you know, and that goes with the regular territory, but always worrying about who they're gonna throw in the yard and who's gonna get the program. Because in all honesty, there's a lot of cats in prison that want to get out and want to do good things, and they see that I've got out and that I'm able to get this channel, and maybe they might, you know, be able to benefit off that, seeing that there is a homie, you know what I mean, that actually did what he said and he's out here. And you know, there's some that are negative to it, but that back to 6ix9ine, the whole thing with 6ix9ine is this dude that's had multiple chances. A lot of you don't know, but when he was out here, he really wasn't that big. He's been doing it for a minute. When he went overseas is when he started making a lot of his money. And like most people, you get offered to kick it in these spots in order to, you know, give them that the type of shine that they want, and you get the type of shine that you need. But he chose to return and come back to a life where it was just leading him down one corridor, and that was straight to death. There was only a few things that were gonna happen to this guy. Either he was gonna get smoked, or he was gonna end up in jail for the rest of his life. But we all knew exactly what he was gonna do. He was gonna tell, because it doesn't take a genius to realize, or anybody that's been up in this life that long, to realize that this guy was he just wasn't about it. He was a big mouth. He chose to speak on things he shouldn't have spoke on, and in the end, you could tell. It's like when that thing on the Breakfast Club, I told people after that, you could tell. You seen the fear in his eye, because I've seen it so many times, and I've seen dudes break down because of that. I don't know. I'm just gonna put it out there like that, because I'm sure there's a lot of people covering this shit, and for the most part, the few people that I've seen covered in the right way. They're not throwing they're not necessarily slandering a guy, because you can't slander a guy that's already pretty much, you know, slandered himself just by being the type of individual he was, like 6ix 9ine. But it was predicted, and everybody knew that it was gonna happen. The whole thing with 6ix 9ine, like I said, is he had a chance to turn it around, and he chose not to. And now he's in a situation to where he has to plead to something and tell on people that are not going to forget it. It's not to say anything's going to happen to him, because the way the world is now, it's so watered down and so plastic that any thoughts of the old ways and how things used to be handled is not going to happen. And it's just the way it is. It's prime example. To this day, there's dudes out here running around that are probably nothing's gonna happen, because nobody really cares no more. It's the same. It's like I had watched something on the prison channel, because I watched those two, and the dudes are like, the convict code is no longer. And for the most part, that's true. People can come here and they're like, you know what, Zod, you speak about this, you speak about that, but at the end of the day, I speak about nothing that I can't speak about. You know what I mean? There's certain things that I will never say, because it's just the way it goes. That's the code of conduct. Fuck a convict code. It's the code of conduct. There's just some things you don't speak about. I'm not going to speak about a man and talk about his crime that he did and he's still fighting. I can talk about my life, because it's my life. As long as I'm not mentioning no names, which you know what names what constitute, you know, bad things. I don't mention nobody's name, regardless of who I cross paths with. It don't matter. I may talk about homies that I've been busted with, you know what I mean, but for the most part, I refrain from mentioning them, because nowadays you don't know who's no good and who's still good. And I have no time to be, you know, googling names on. I just stay away from people, because at the end of the day, like I said, you never know who is who. And I'm not trying to go through all that. It's just when you get out and you want your life together, you do what you have to do. There's too many complications out here right now, and other things I gotta deal with without worrying about who's good in prison, whatever. Now, as far as 6ix 9ine, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about the guy. All I can say is dude did the wrong thing. He should have never got involved in this life, regardless of how much fame he wanted. And even if he just used it as a stepping stone, he should have just stayed being just a regular troll. He started calling out dudes that could really push that line on him, and I think that pressure started to build with him and within his own camp. I really, like I said, 6ix 9ine, some people are going to be like, oh, well, that's this business. No, because he really wasn't a blood. He was a lame, and he claimed to be something that he wasn't. Like you'll probably say about me. But I actually went through mine and weathered my storm. And it's not about being hard. It's never been about being the hardest. It's about certain things that you hold on to, and certain things that you don't. Now, as far as like certain rules that I learned, not only being incarcerated, but on the streets, period. You don't tell, you don't snitch, you don't fold, you don't break, you keep it solid. It's a part of the game. If you choose this life, hold it. I'm like I said a million times, for the naysayers and the people that just slow-footed, I am not gangbanging on the street no more. If you push up on me, I'm gonna handle my business. But as far as me, you might be from an enemy's neighbor, I'm not going to do nothing to you, because it's, for one, it's just no need. And for two, I'm too old for that shit. Like I said, it's not about pushing lines, it's about holding line. Because right now, if you don't hold line the way the situation is now, as far as like out there on the streets, it's a real problem, especially when it comes to dudes that ain't no good. It's for the ones that are still good and out here trying to hold that line, and people want to talk mess about that because we choose to hold on to something that is standards. It's like you're not gonna, if you got a certain standard when it comes to a woman, you're not gonna take nothing else outside of those standards. It's like, why, if you're a millionaire or a billionaire, let's just say that, just outlandish number, say like you're a billionaire, you're gonna settle for a hood rat? Nah. Unless you're just one of them desperate fools that's never really had it, then you might settle for that. But for the most part, you're going to go for somebody that's on the same level as you. And if not on the same level, you something close to you. And if not on this something close to you, somebody that carries herself in a certain way. And that's the same way dudes like me see it when it comes to being older and weather the storm and still represent a certain code. It's not about gangbanging. It's just, why should I want to hang with you when you couldn't handle what I handle? Why put myself in a position to hang with somebody that snitched on somebody else? And I see a lot of dudes on the internet talking about trash, but they're not cleaning up their own trash. And it's not like you haven't seen the trash. You'll see them and give them a pass to go. And that's not being negative. That's just saying, if you're going to talk about it, then actually be about that work. You know what I mean? And not going to, and I'm not saying go out and clean up somebody else's. That's their neighbor, that's their business. But I'm talking about the same food that you might kick it with that are no good. You know what I mean? 6ix9ine is not the only person to ever snitch. This dude just did it on a grander scale, and he affected a lot of people. I have nothing against the guys that he told on. Because at the end of the day, they were just holding tight to the code which they believed in. It's hard to tell a person not to believe in something that they've represented their whole life. It's like when people get at me, I got family members that talk to me and can't figure out why I still hold to the same standards. Though they're happy I'm not out there trying to use guns and promote gun violence and nothing of that nature. But they wonder why there's certain things, like, you always had them family members that are shady and you just not around them because you already know there's something shady about them. Other family members might condone it. A lot in our community, they condone things of that nature, fools telling, or you know what I mean, and not necessarily outside, but like family, they'll condone fools doing certain things and just feel as if it's nothing. I still hold tight to the twisted morals that I've been given. I don't go out there speaking on individuals unless I got paperwork on them, or if they're a confirmed snitch or whatever. And even then, I don't really speak on. I'm just not around them. Don't want to be around them. Don't want to know them. Don't want to contribute to their nothing. You know what I mean? They can't get nothing from me, and I don't want nothing from them. So with 6ix9ine, I don't feel sorry for him. Some fools talk like, oh, you should feel sorry for him, but I don't. Because it's a life you chose, and it's a hard life. I mean, there's people right now that have died for that life. And that's why I be asking fools all the time, like, why would you want to get involved in it? That's the thing. Why would you want to get involved with it? Especially the dudes at the later ages of the stage. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're already 30-something, now you want to gangbang. Or you're already 25, now you want to gangbang. That life is over. That's something you experience if you really want that life at a young age. And then, you have your fill of it. And if you don't get life, die, or you know what I mean, you are maimed in some way, you're good, and then you raise your family and you do things on that page. That's the only thing I'm gonna say about 6ix9ine. He made the wrong mistake and he's paying for it. Cause at the end of the day, eventually it's gonna catch up to him, and if it don't, mentally he's always gonna be looking over his shoulder, worrying about somebody rolling up on him. Cause when you're at that level and you do things like that, you're always gonna have to worry. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's all I'm gonna say about 6ix9ine. Now, as far as like anything else, it's life. If you choose a life, run with it. But when it's time to give up that life, give up that life. I gave up the gang life. I choose to try to raise my family. And there's issues there too, but it's just because you're programmed a certain way, but you gotta continuously try to make something happen. at my age, look at, I got YouTube. I got another holiday, trying to get another job. You know what I mean? Don't worry about the flag or don't worry about nothing. Just worry about me being a productive citizen in society and no longer out there trying to put people in graves. That's all you got to worry about when it comes to Zod. I don't do nothing to bolster myself. Like I said, if I did, then I would be talking about things I'm doing or outlandish shit that probably never did in my life. You know what I mean? Trying to bolster a name. But there's no need to that. Or I would be like always Blackie. I'm Zod. You know what I mean? Whole different personality for the people that may not be able to understand that I'm not out there doing what I used to do. And I don't, how should I say, bend to pressure. You know what I mean? I just keep it me, and if me ain't enough, then oh well. You know what I mean? But for the people that have been paying attention to my channel, that actually want me to do something positive, like I said, there's always obstacles and bumps along the road, but you got to kind of maneuver to get around them. And for the people that don't want this life, don't need this life, I'm going to tell you, it's a lonely life after a while, unless you find somebody that's able to deal with that. But that's all I'm going to say on 6ix9ine, you know what I mean? I already badgered him on the first one, and I said that what he would do, and he did it. It was predictable. Stay away from the bullshit and just, you know, live your life. And for the people that keep trying to flag my videos, I keep getting it overturned and getting my monetization back. So, you know, thank you for that. And on that note, I'm your boy Zod, and I'm out.
Kneel before Zod!